So our league, there's kind of a three-pronged focus of it. We really try to focus on individual skill development. We do this by what you could call and what other people have called drills for skills. And so we, as soon as the clock goes off, we use that. We go from clock to clock. We start with the clock, and we'll put an hour on there, and a lot of times break it up into 10-minute segments, and just drill and drill and drill. And what we want is for our players to develop the proper habits that when they're not thinking about it, they do instinctively do things with proper form, because we don't want them to just do it a certain way. We know that the way that we're teaching is to make them more efficient on the basketball court, that when they catch and square their shoulders to the basket, they're in a good position to protect the ball, to see the court, and be in a triple threat, so they have many options as an offensive player. So when we do triple threat drills, it's not just, hey, this is how you do it. We do that to give them an advantage and to develop the habit of every time they catch to square their shoulders to the basket. It's one of the things that we always preach here in our league, and even in our games. We'll stop games and explain to them, every time you catch, square your shoulders to the basket. We desire that for every player on the court. So there's a lot of individual skill development that we emphasize in our league. Secondly, we try to promote and teach game understanding, what you might call basketball IQ. We do this. We focus offensively. We focus on making sure our players have good spacing. Typically in youth leagues, we've all been there. We've probably all done it. Wherever the ball is, that's where 80% of the people are. We create drills and game situations so that our players learn how to move without the ball, how to get themselves open, and how to really be a benefit to the person with the ball by constantly moving. We basically teach a basic motion offense to our older players, so that everyone's constantly moving and getting each other open. We always tell them, if you try to get someone else open with a back pick or screening down, and then we always teach them how to open up. If you try to get someone else open, more than likely you're the one that gets open to get the ball and to try to create something for your teammates. So we teach a lot of game understanding, basketball IQ, and on the defensive end, this is positioning. This is help defense. This is where to be in relation to the ball and your man at all times. We're able to teach all that to all the players in our leagues, which is, in my experience, rare in a youth league. But we're trying to develop players so that they can play at the middle school level, they can play at the high school level, and they can play at the college level. And we just feel like we have a responsibility to really push them and teach them as much as we possibly can with the time that we have them. Thirdly, we try to promote competitive greatness and sportsmanship, and we think that goes hand in hand. We want the guys and girls to compete because we know it'll make them better, and we want them to do it the right way. In other words, we want them to do it with sportsmanship, not only to try to win, but to play in such a way that they will improve and their teammates or the people they're playing against will improve. We do this with competitive drills and with gameplay. One of the questions we frequently get, especially after last year and our first time having our league, is are the players going to be able to, are they going to play games, or are they just going to do drills? That's usually how it's worded. Well, we compete in the drills that we do throughout the course of the week and on Saturdays. This is primarily with the older group, and then later on in the season with the younger groups as well, is that we're not just doing drills, we're competing in the drills. So if we do something like a 3-on-2, 2-on-1 transition drill, we're teaching them how to play in transition situations, and they're learning and they're competing in that regard. Also, when we do, one of the kids' favorite drills is 3-on-2, touch the middle. This is a drill we used to do at the high school at Cape, and they still do, and the guys love it. But what you do is we split everybody into two teams, and it's a transition 3-on-2 drill, and we keep score. And we've even done it. the younger kids, for whatever reason, like to run if they lose. So whenever whoever team loses, they have to run sprints, and so we run it much like a practice that when I coached a JV team at the high school, how we ran practice there. We do a lot of our practices the same exact way. And then of course on Saturdays we get into gameplay. But keep in mind that this is a developmental league. So first week we're not going to throw the kids onto teams, put them out there, roll a ball out, and have officials and just say go. We're not going to put them in a situation that's going to develop bad habits. So what we try to do is we move them gradually into 5-on-5 gameplay. So for the second half of the season, they will experience like a typical youth league with just 5-on-5. They come in, they play their game, they have quarters, they have free throws, they have inbounds plays. Something that we're getting more into as we go on, simply because we had some difficulty with some of our players that played in travel ball. They knew how to play the game, but they didn't know what they lacked was maybe some opportunity to see a regular, typical game play situation. What do I do in an inbound situation? What do I do in a free throw situation? So we're going to add that not only into our practice sessions and stations with team concept drills, but we're also going to do that on Saturdays when we're going to have a regular game. We'll have a coach coach one team, another coach the other team. The other coaches will be officials, and we'll still do it the way that we do it, and use every opportunity to teach the game. But we'll also give opportunity to understand the flow of the game. What do I do when there's only 20 seconds left and we just got the ball at half court? What's a good option for me here in this situation? So we use the liberty to develop our guys by even using game situations, and we can set them up with, you're down by 10, you got 2 minutes left, here's the ball, let's go. And do the same thing for the other team and put them in scenarios that they might face as they develop as players. Really, the heart and soul of our program is our coaches. We have fantastic coaches. Tom Peterson is a Cape Crusader AAU program director, and is known around here of just getting guys in the gym and working them out, really helping them to get a ton of reps, a lot of hands on the ball, and get a lot of shots up. He's fantastic with the kids, and anyone who was with our program last year who's been at the factory knows that Tom's here almost as much as I am, and he's been a great asset to our program and help with the development of it and with the promotion of it, and we can't thank him enough. He's played college basketball like all of our coaches have, and has coached at a high level as well. For our preseason program, we have Coach Ray from over at the high school with the boys basketball program. We have Coach Kara with the girls basketball program, and they relay to us the things that they need their players to be able to do when they come to the high school, and some of the drills that they do, and we implement those in our program so that make it easier for our players to be able to understand the things that they'll be doing for a couple years down the future. We feel like we can give them a good head start with being able to easily assimilate themselves into the high school program, and we think that's a great benefit for them. We also have Coach John Gordon, who, like Coach Corral, played at University of Delaware at a very high level, extremely knowledgeable about the game, great with the kids, and is able to teach the fundamentals. He's going to take more of a leadership role with us this season. And then we have some other guys that'll be filling in that have other responsibilities here and other places that'll be filling in now and then, like Ronnie Allen and John Kovaleski, well-known basketball guys as well as lacrosse guys. And so they help with our lacrosse program here, but also, like last year, were a big part of our basketball program as well. Mark Steigerwalt is involved in position sports and slam dunk to the beach. He helps out. And then Trent Batson is a great guy as well. played at Cave from around here and played college basketball. So we have fantastic coaches that can impart all the things that they've learned to our players, and we just feel like this is a great opportunity for the youth in our area to really experience great coaching at a young age that'll help them and aid them and be able to learn from these guys and girls so that they can maybe develop quicker, or even just develop a great love for the game. So yeah, our league is it's a developmental league, typically on a Saturday, and then towards the end of the season we'll bring us into our midweek practices as well. We'll be playing 1-on-1, and we'll be playing 2-on-2. We'll be teaching 3-on-3. We recognize that 3-on-3 is one of the greatest ways to teach the game of basketball. We play 4-on-4 with them, and then we play 5-on-5 with them. We'll do 5-on-5 half-court situations, so we can have 2 games going at once. And we'll do all this stuff primarily at the beginning of the season. We'll build up to it, and then we'll play more 5-on-5, running up and down and just playing like any other basketball game with teams. But that'll be primarily for the second half of the season when we feel like we've prepared our players to be productive and efficient in that situation so they can be successful. In addition to all that, we try to offer other opportunities. We have clinics, we have basketball camps that we run here at the factory. But even during the course of the season, we'll have what we call family open gym time. So on some Fridays, we'll just say, hey, look, for any of our players in our league, we're going to have family open gym. We want you to come out. If you can, don't just drop off your child and let them play, although that's okay if you want to do that. But we want you to play with them. We want you to come out, and we've had a lot of fun with that. We've had parents come out and just play 3-on-3, have the whole family come out and play, and it's a great time. Well, we've received some recognition from the University of Delaware and the U.S. Olympic Committee. They have a program for international coaches. It's an enrichment certification program. We were selected. We had coaches from Turkmenistan and Sri Lanka and Oman come by just last week, and they were asking me a slew of questions and how do we develop our young players so that they could take some of the things that we do with our young players and bring that back to their country to develop basketball in their country starting at a very young age. Primarily, we want them to have fun, and we know that if kids fall in love with the game, they'll practice and they'll play as much as you'll have to stop them from playing. But they saw the things that we're doing, and so people that are involved in this program will be sent to Penn State, they'll be sent to University of Delaware, and they'll be sent to high Division I college programs to observe. These guys were involved in player development in their national coaching programs, and so they sent them to us so they could observe what we do here at the factory. We were very honored to have the opportunity, and they came and watched some of our preseason workouts and some of our strength and conditioning things that we do, and we also sent them over to the high school so they could see what Coach Ray is doing over there with his preseason fitness and conditioning program and with the high school guys. So they had a good experience. But we're grateful to have opportunity. We're grateful to do everything we can to help the players in this area develop that. So when they come to the high school, they have all the fundamentals squared away. They can catch, they can square up, they can pivot, they can use their inside foot, they can drop step, they can handle it with both hands, they can finish with both hands, they jump off the correct foot, and it'll make for a better basketball in Southern Delaware, and that's really what our goal is here.